All of it. Body language.
Body language. Yes, body language. So let's take a minute to do introductions real quick. I'm Wes with Casey Care.
I'm Ace with Woody's QC, and we're joined by, let's start with you.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Clint with M City.
And I'm Stan with M City. Three of us are the owners of this little emporium in Kansas City.
Which is where we're filming today.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about M City. So this used to be
Video
Mania, and then so
Westport Video before that.
Yeah, and so how did that take place? Like, how did you guys?
It's a long process.
You didn't just wake up one day.
Well, we kind of did, but not really.
Yeah, kind of, but not really. So, when I met Stan, I was very, very vanilla. So bad that he almost broke up with me over that. And
well, I gave him the chance to run. I said,
he did.
It's going to be a rough ride. You better hang on.
Let's back up just a little bit real quick. So you two are married.
Yeah.
And you are...
Our friends.
Just friends.
Just friends, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So did you have him tied up? Is that why you couldn't run away?
No, unfortunately not. But then we started traveling together, and he took me to meet his family and that sort of thing. And while we were in Seattle, he took me to a place called Doghouse Leathers. And I walked in the store, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much shit here. I love this place.
What kind of store was that?
It was like this.
Okay.
Doghouse Leathers started, I didn't do my research, but about 20 years ago. It's friends of mine that I've known Jeff and Puppy for 25 years.
Are you from Seattle?
Yeah.
Are you from Seattle area?
Yeah.
Okay, is it still there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, he takes me in there, and I'm just, the scent of the leather and the leather shop itself that they had there, and then they had walls of toys. It's just a wonderful place for someone who is in kink. You can find anything and everything there. And I'm going through this, and I'm like, God, Stan, why don't we have this in Kansas City? And so every time we go back to Seattle, that was always a stop for us. And I bought my first harness there too.
Ooh.
So
That's okay.
very fond memories of that. And then we just kept going back and checking out other leather stores in different areas, and I just always wished that there was something big and more in Kansas City. And then Kevin
Was unemployed and looking for a way to make money.
Yeah.
So I started a website, or started producing a website, let's put it that way, all the back end stuff. And then I took them to a nice little event in Vegas. And
Well, we went for the Las Vegas Smokeout, and it's a cigar thing.
it's a cigar fetish.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
If you're into that.
It's usually in April. This year, of course, dates have changed.
Yeah.
I think they're in August this year. But
Yeah. But it's an awesome event. Lots and lots of cigar guys that are beautiful, and it's just fun.
So while we're there, I had registered us for a trade show, and I signed these
An
two
adult
and
product.
another
I
friend.
was like, wait, like an adult?
Yeah.
It was
It's an adult
like
trade show.
Oh my God!
It was
You
like-
have to be a vendor to go. Like, how
You have
Yeah.
to be a business to go, and I had already started the business license process, and so I had all of that paperwork together, and I signed up all of his buyers. And we walk in the room, and Clint was like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. True. So true. And I was like, I left them. I was running from booth to booth, finding as much information as I could, and packing as much into my tiny brain as I could, and grabbing every card that I could find. And,
Well, now this show was at one of the major hotels in Las Vegas, one of the major hotels.
Yeah.
They have big ballrooms. Sometimes they'll divide them into quarters for like a wedding. This was all the sections of all the ballrooms, no walls. It was huge.
yeah.
Sex sells.
It was huge.
Well, it was more than sex, because there were lines of underwear, lines of swimsuits. It was really awesome to get to see all that. And I'm running through this. I'm like, oh my God, we could do this. We could set this up. And in my head, I'm looking store. In his head, he's like internet.
Yeah. What can we sell?
Right?
Yeah. And so I'm walking out of there, and I'm calculating. I'm running numbers, and I'm like, oh, we can make this happen if we just find a spot. And so I'm talking to him about it and trying to convince him we need to open a store. And poor Kevin's over here like, I took him to the store and they're just leaving, or to the show and they're just leaving me out. And, he didn't say that, but I could imagine that's what he was thinking.
They're like a physical location.
And
Like,
so-
we just need a warehouse.
So I turned to him and I said, listen, you've already got the website up. I'm like, you want to partner in on this thing? And he's like, yeah! And so then we began the search to find a store.
Brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And
Which was over a year.
It was well
Because
over a year.
A lot of people have websites to sell and
Mhm.
all products, but when you can have a brick and mortar where you can go in and you can look at the thing and you can touch the thing, and
Yeah.
you can.
You don't have to wait for shipping. You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
I mean, we do have we're having a website too, and that's in progress. But
New updated website.
to have a website and to have a brick and mortar place where you can see stuff. try it out, or
And
whatever.
Kansas City doesn't allow startup businesses like this. So we had to purchase an existing business to be grandfathered in.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they make you jump through every hoop there
Because
is.
it's an adult.
Don't really.
I say they don't allow it. They will allow it if you can find the perfect location, but we could not find that in Kansas City. So in a sense,
What is the perfect location? What does that mean?
you can't be near a school, you can't be near a daycare, you can't be near
A church.
A church.
Like there's
Well, this again, this
Yeah,
is
your grandfather
grandfather.
is, so it's fine. Yeah.
It's like if you're trying to open a bar and they weren't giving you any more liquor licenses. If you could buy an existing bar that was already selling product, you could take that over. And it just happened. And this was like height of COVID. This was 2020.
Yeah.
We went to this trade show in April of 19. So then the year went by, and now it's 2020, and then we were down camping down the Ozarks. I was talking with a friend of mine who was the proprietor of the campground, and he looked, and I was explaining our problem. I said, we want to do this business, but we can't find a physical location because it's not permitted, the licensing, etc. And he looked at me, and you know how people will tell you stuff and then they will tell you stuff?
Yeah.
He told me, he's like, I know where you can put your store.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Really?
What? He goes, I know someone, blah, blah, blah. And he hooked us up with Videomania, who was presently shut down due to COVID because the city was shut down.
Yeah.
So were they thinking about selling, or?
Well, so they
No,
were.
that wasn't shut down then because that was in,
Yeah,
that was in
that was in-
August of 19, and then COVID hit in March of 20, and the place was closed down. But we had started negotiating with the guy like in October of 19.
So COVID may have. Do you think that sort of helped spur it along, like
That was
process? Or, yeah,
No.
that we
because they're already closed. So
truly we almost backed out of it because we didn't know what to expect. And I've got numbers that I've got to hit to make sure that we can operate successfully. And and so I was very worried about it, and it was scary. And probably about the second weekend, I was like, "Oh, we're going to be fine."
Yeah.
well, and with what changed for you, like that second weekend?
I was shocked at we weren't even open yet when we took over, and the number of calls that were coming in were like, "Are you guys open? We need stuff," and here we were in this video store here. I mean, this was all videos out here, and I was confident at that time that I wanted to get rid of the videos. They weren't, so we kept the videos for quite a while.
And then it was just all of a sudden we were like, okay, we're done with videos.
Yeah, they're not selling, right?
Right.
We're doing the same thing with the
Yeah.
adult videos as well.
Yeah, it's just not.
What did you do with them?
Well, we donated the family videos. We donated those to MGRA, and they used them in their garage sale.
Yeah.
So he gave Romeo's.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so
Yeah.
yeah, and we're very big on trying to get back to the community in any way we can. We love all our leather groups and non-leather groups as well. We designed something for the Bear Mafia, but we haven't been able. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to use that yet, and so we're very.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, so it should be for like one of their like Tornado or
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, and we're willing to do any of that for any of the groups if we can.
Yeah.
But yes, it was scary at first, and we
Well, the thing
got rid of all the videos and brought this stuff out, and then of course, I'm sorry.
Well, and then, but the thing was too, when we made the purchase agreement to buy the business from the previous owner, it's like we were buying a car that didn't have any wheels on it.
Yeah.
Because here's the car, but it was COVID and it was shut. So we bought a business that we didn't know if and when we could even open.
And you had to fill the product too.
Yeah.
You had-
Right,
yeah.
which was another problem because you couldn't, shipping.
It's still a problem.
Stuff, yeah, it still is. I mean, stuff just wasn't shipping, and so it. I mean, I feel blessed that we have what we have right now, and then of course, the leather shop wasn't in our short term plan. It was
long term.
It was down the road. We had it in our business plan in 5 years.
Yeah.
And then Kevin shared with us the announcement from Leather Masters, and I was just like,
Dallas area.
yeah, and my heart just sank for them. They're such wonderful people, and I thought this is a brand that cannot die. And so I told Sam we're going to Texas, so we jumped in the truck, drove down. I talked with Dee on the phone.
Well,
a little bit.
we didn't know Leather Masters. They didn't know us.
Yeah.
But we reached out to them.
We knew of their product,
Yeah.
but we
How
didn't
many
know them.
locations are set up like y'all have with your leather shop? That
Right now, just us.
just wow.
We're we are the only manufacturer of leather master goods at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then we met with, it was funny, we met with them, and I think at first they might have thought we were full of shit. But, because Marcus was very, I think, a little bit guarded, and then we got to talking, and he got to know us, and we bought some of his equipment, and brought it back to Cuba City,
And we had the back seat of the pickup truck, both seats up. The back of the truck was cram-packed with boxes full of leather goods that we bought from
Oh my God.
That was the greatest trip, driving back from Texas with that smell. I mean, it's awesome.
Because Leather Masters, also due to COVID, they were closed. So we
Wow. So much
purchased
profit,
this
yeah.
place on May 1st. Mayor Lucas lightened the restrictions on May 9th. We opened 9 days later. We didn't know if we were going to open in June or May or ever.
Yeah.
We bought this car with no wheels, basically. And then it opened on May 9th, and then Leather Masters made the announcement that they were going to be liquidating. And we went down.
And closing their doors.
And Clint and I went down there in June. It was not even a month, I think, later.
Yeah.
And met them and kind of introduced ourselves. And
Which again, Kevin and I are balls to the wall. Let's do this. And Stan's over here like, oh, pump the brakes. And it was quite interesting. But then Dee and Marcus were, and their whole staff were just so amazing and so nice. And I expressed them, like, we can't let this die. This is, it's like history. It's you guys can't. This brand has to continue some way. What can we do to help? And he was like, well, I think we're done. And I'm like, well, work with us. What can we do? He didn't really want to sell anything at the time.
And we had in our long-term plan to be doing, retail product, just toys.
And
leather.
Yeah.
But we
and
wanted
some
to
leather.
do some leather, and but we didn't know how, that part of it, or how to make a vest.
Yeah. So bringing on the leather shop and Leather Masters, that means you guys can custom make pieces for individuals?
We will. There are some restrictions that we have with that because
For the moment.
For the moment, yeah. Right now we're still trying to get through all of. I mean, they have thousands of patterns, and we purchased all of them at this point, and it's just trying to get through them and to make them all. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
So there's some that I really want to get to, and some that all of them we really want to get to, but some that have more priority than others, and,
Yeah.
and it's just interesting trying to get those out and discovering, cutting the leather and discovering what that's going to look like when you put it together. It's kind of exciting. And then, after we bought the equipment from them, we discovered, we're going to need another machine. So we bought another sewing machine
And yet, what used to be the video shop, or where you can see the adult products for the store, is now your leather shop.
yeah, we opened up the
Leather
windows.
studio.
Yeah, we refer to it as the leather studio.
I
Yeah,
like that.
Yes.
It's not, if you're outside looking in, I kind of think of it, if somebody's in there making leather, it's kind of like when you watch them make like the Krispy Kreme donuts, you can watch through the window because they're making your leather goods.
That was the point. We wanted everybody to see it.
Yeah. If you're walking by on Westport Road, on 208 Westport Road, you can look in and you can see the leather workers in there.
And we're really blessed because the people that we have working for us that they're making the products are so creative. I mean, we have a dildo harness that works for a lot of people. We have several different styles of that, but we had someone who contacted us and said that hers kept breaking. And she was using it on her boyfriend. And
That's right.
so
I
I
want
was
to bring a boyfriend.
yeah. So I was like, well, how are you breaking it? What's happening? And so she came in, met with us, and fortunately it wasn't any of our products that she was using.
Yeah.
And she had purchased one of our products to use, and she said she did like it because the way it was built, the pressure went different on the ring that holds it in place. And so she liked that product, but she didn't like the look of it. She wanted something that was more sexy and pretty. So we're in the process of working with her to design something different. And actually, we sent out a survey to a whole group of people and got some feedback on those things. And so we're working to adjust that pattern to make something a little more sexy. And not actually adjusting that pattern, but recreating it, I should say.
Sexy and functional.
Yeah, sexy and functional and easy to use. And so Rex are one of our Rex and Meredith are leather masters, so to speak. And the two of them together have come up with some really neat ideas for that particular product. And I'm anxious to see what happens when it's tried out.
Yeah. So you've had, as part of like giving back to the community or helping the community. So you're doing that with like providing a space for leather masters to work on product and sell that to customers and design their own things. What are some other things that you brought in from the community or sort of like to help make that connection for individuals where they can like sell their products here or you're building those bridges for people to find local items, especially if it's like kink or fetish.
Well, there are a number of people we'd love to partner with. The leather shop at Missy B's would be a prime example. We'd love to partner with them because they've got some product that we don't carry, and they're doing the cross. Are they doing the St. Andrew's cross?
They're doing some of the furniture.
Yeah, they're doing some of the furniture stuff that we don't do, and I'd love to carry that stuff. But we haven't been able to work anything out with that yet. Actually, we've been focused more on our stuff than reaching out and doing anything. So at some point, we'll probably do that and see if we can work together. But there's just so many other communities here. Like we have the candles that we sell that were like.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah. So
it's Holy Crapple.
Holy Crapple. Yeah.
Ace, which one do you have?
Birch, please.
Birch, please. Yeah, it smells like crapple.
What does Crapple smell like?
Like an old apple.
Oh, okay.
What is birch, please? I imagine it smells like a bird.
She does.
I don't know what birch.
It smells like a candle? I don't know. I mean, I would buy this candle and light it in my house. I like that it says it's imported in Parkville, Missouri.
Ah,
It's very
that's
local.
cool. Yeah, it's very local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a 16-year-old student, and she has her candles in a couple of stores in Kansas City, and we happen to be one of them.
Yeah, she can't even come in the store, right? She's not even old
No,
enough to
she
come in.
cannot.
She can sell her product here, but she can't come in.
Right.
Drop it at the door.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's like, I feel like that'd be weird to be like in high school or whatever, and then like when your friends are like, yeah, like, so that's my parents' room, and like, they have your one of your tables. It's like, well, thanks.
So did that answer your question?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
wondering like what other things that you guys were doing in the community.
Well, I'm working with the KCPCA. I'm on that board. So
That's right,
we're
yeah.
also part of that. KCPCA. Sorry.
Which is the Kansas City Pride Community Alliance.
Right, and we're planning Pride for 2020. So
So, is there anything that you can share about that? Like,
I
is it going to be like in the
cannot.
summer? Is it fall? Like,
it'll be in the fall.
okay.
Let's say they're planning Pride for 2020.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean 2021?
Yeah, 2021.
I was like,
Gosh,
wow.
We're not repeating that year.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm still stuck there from all the COVID stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes, for 2021 in the fall, and so we're.
That'll be nice. It won't be like blistering heat during our typical.
who knows? Sorry. It could be snow,
We were-
300 degrees.
It's Missouri.
We truly
We
would
can
like
have
to
a
do
twister.
it in during the month of June, but
Yeah.
it's just too early for that.
I would agree with that too. Yeah.
Mm.
So what are some? So we have some other products here. So I a big fan of lube. So we have a few things of lube out here. So we usually just talk about like silicone or water-based lube, but you guys have like creams and
Jellies
jellies and like powders,
and grease, cream,
grease. Ooh,
hot formula.
what is that?
So hot.
What's the? You know anything about the hot lube? I don't know about hot lube, so I don't know what that. I feel like you're not supposed to have.
I feel like it heats up when
It has a warming. It's a warming sensation for both, and
That's like, isn't there a song that's like, my pussy's on fire? Pussy's on fire.
I know, but that's like I need to go to the doctor.
I don't want my penis to be
cat scratch fever, maybe.
overheating.
It's kind of interesting. I had not ever really used anything like that until that product, and there's a couple of things that we have that are like that, and
The warming, the tingling, the cool, the
yeah.
when you heat
And at
it up
first-
and cool it down.
I will say,
Wow.
at first I didn't like it, and then after this, probably the second or third time, I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of nice. I kind of like this."
Well, it says elbow grease.
So I would think this is for is this fisting lube, where since it's elbow grease, I would
It's your big toys.
for big toys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think you'd want that area heated up. I think of like
Like on a cold night.
on a cold night on a brisk winter.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like icy hot or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
that's
That's
the
too much.
that's the
That's
heat
too
I'm
much.
thinking.
That's too much.
So that's like a very mild compared to that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like I would not want that
It's a
in any of
warming
those
sensation.
areas.
It's not a hot sensation.
I'm like,
Not
you're on fire.
Right. Nobody's on fire.
Not yet.
Right.
So what other products do you guys sell that people typically wouldn't be able to find in the city if they were looking for them?
Well, this like J-Lube is great because this is a powder, and this is
Don't try shampoo, but for your penis.
it doesn't.
Anus.
Anus.
No, it's lube.
Well, it's sold by weight. I don't know. It's
You mix the
280
powder
grams,
with water.
How many gallons can that make?
but Literally, this would probably
It's
make 10 gallons.
Very.
Wow.
It's
So
very.
you just
Mix up what
It's
you
very
need.
slick.
10 gallons.
10 gallons. So that's economical.
It's like a party weekend.
Yeah, totally. You make a pool of it. You just sort of jump in.
The bad thing about this stuff is it is stringy. So if you're applying it, it's going to stick. It's going to come from your hand to your from your cock to your hand. It's going to stretch out, and so it's kind of interesting.
A good little trick is I will mix this up at home in a ketchup bottle that you buy at the grocery store. You know, one of them that you know with the little
Yeah.
Anyway,
Always nipple.
put about 2 tablespoons of powder in the bottle. Put about 4 ounces of water. You know, shake it up. It takes a while for it to mix because this is powder, and it takes a while for it to get all sort of liquefied. But It's really slippery, and if you dispense them, what I'll do is I'll just take that tip and press it against the dry part, and it'll kind of cut because it's a long string polymer, and then you kind of cut it and then there you go. And if it dries out in use, you can always have just a little atomizer of water. Just give a little spritz of water, and you're good to go again.
Comes back to life.
It does.
So interesting. I had a friend yesterday who spilled his J-Lube on this carpet,
Powder or
the wet. Like he sent me a picture, which was funny because I was like, it's in the shape of a penis, so that's pretty funny that you spilled it that way. But he was like, how do I clean this off? And it was like half the bottle that he had poured out. I was like, oh, I mean, he said he'd been using paper towels and it was still
Throw kitty litter on it?
I don't know. I was like, I Googled, I was like, there's nothing online for cleaning that out of plush carpet.
You throw the carpet away.
Yeah. I was like,
salt,
burn the room.
Salt will break it down.
Okay.
Table salt will break it down. And I'm thinking if you had an accident like that, you're going to need salt, water, and a big shop vac.
Okay.
Whatever you get
Yeah, I was
away,
like,
you're
paper
gonna
towels,
suck it up.
I don't think that's going to cut it.
No, that's just going to keep smearing it around.
Yeah.
Let's just keep reproducing.
Right?
Yeah.
So we were talking about candles, and we have this other candle. So something that I think you guys have is you have wax play. So that's where you can play with candles, right?
Yeah, sensation play. So, with wax play, you're melting the wax, and the liquid wax you drip onto the skin or onto sensitive areas.
Yeah, that one's.
Yeah, that's
Black, I just sold the leather.
Yeah, that's the leather was smell.
leather
Yeah.
scented.
I like that smell.
Yeah, and that with the there's some, the color codes are see that has rainbow ribbon, so that's got 6 different candles.
Whoa. Okay.
The rainbow colors. Like the red ribbon is just red candles, the blue is just blue candles.
And is there a difference between colors when it comes to...
The packaging colors, yes. You have a low temperature and a medium temperature, and the only difference is 9 degrees.
Oh, wow.
So it's not that much temperature-wise.
Yeah.
But it does make a difference when it comes to cleanup. So the low temperature ones are going to basically essentially wipe off. They're almost like body temperature is going to melt it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And then if you go to the medium temperature, it's going to be a little more flaky.
Okay.
Or paraffin like.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, I'm
not-
thinking
Peel it off.
you're not going to get blisters from the heat.
No.
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 No, you shouldn't. If you're doing that, you're doing something wrong.
Have you ever done wax play before or anything like that?
I don't remember.
What?
Maybe.
I've never done wax play before.
It's fun.
But never, I think maybe, but not with actual...
Not with actual.
Yeah,
no, I mean,
yeah.
I've burnt myself by candle wax.
Yeah.
Not the same thing.
Well, I mean, not just accidentally.
Never done it on
I'm sure
purpose.
I've done it on purpose, but never with any kind of education or real rhyme or reason to how. It's just kind of like a trial and let's not do that. Or, oh, you like it? Cool.
Great, thanks.
A lot of people will mix wax play and electricity play together as well.
That's a whole lot of sensation.
That's a whole lot of
That's
sensations.
some good sensation, though.
Like shocking?
Yes.
Yeah.
My daughter just pulled out a taser the other day and showed us the taser or something. That's intense.
No, that's
Not quite that.
Not that
intense.
quite in. Yeah, but I was like, put that away. I don't want to see that again.
It's like looking like a battery when you're a kid.
No, I didn't like that either.
It's just in the wrong spot.
Yes, but some people do like it.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Some people that were once vanilla really like it.
So when you were, what type of, I think earlier we were talking about, sounding equipment that you can get here.
Yeah. In fact, back to the electricity stuff, we have a flogger that you can connect into a Violet One, and it will, you can
So as you're flogging the person, you're also...
electrifying them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's wonderful.
Yeah. I've been flogged recently, but I wouldn't say that I would actively seek it out, but I didn't say no to it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it
that's-
was going to be more painful, but it was actually not painful.
That's one of our House of Marcus products.
Yeah, I don't do massage either, so I was like, oh, it's okay. Yeah. I'm not a massage person. Any of y'all been flogged before, or
Oh, yeah.
floggers?
Many times.
Oh my gosh. Ace, no?
No?
We need to change that.
Yeah, you need to try it.
Why?
To me,
Oh,
it's
it
like
is.
getting massage.
It is, and it's
I don't know, maybe
it's
with
actually
personal color. It just doesn't sit well with
Has
me.
nothing to do
no,
with color.
no, it's actually it's
scary.
It's kind of good for your skin too. It brings the blood to the.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
Well, I'm all about doing things that are good for my skin. So,
moisturize.
well, okay. I have another question on that too. So,
I think it's good for the skin.
I don't really
It's
like.
fine.
There hasn't really been outside of I think what Missy B's like any kind of store like this really in Kansas City for a very long time. In my experience, because I just moved here about 5 years ago, that I mean, as much as we're open in the city and there's a lot of queer people and rainbow flags and stuff, like it's still the Midwest and it's still very like conservative and sometimes very traditional.
Yep.
How has that been received here? Now having this whole store, because coming from Chicago, like we have a men's room, right, and boys' room. It's like massive, and you have in Andersonville another store that's similar to this, and
Full kit here.
yeah, like
Like
it's
that, yeah.
very common, Mr. S, and in San Francisco, and where it's like a massive warehouse. Being in the Midwest, being in Kansas City, obviously pairing your name with is that Emerald City?
Emerald City, yeah.
Little play on words. How has that been received with?
I think shockingly good.
I would think so, and I would think obviously you said before when before you had opened your actual doors for brick and mortar that you were getting a lot of phone calls and people very interested wanting to get product. Have you seen a lot of new faces that you're just like, wow, like cool, like awesome?
Yeah, and when we first took the videos out and moved everything out here, and people would walk in and go, "Whoa, am I in the right store?" And
Right.
so and then they spend an hour looking around, and we've consistently added new product over and over, and we're always looking for something new to add to it. So I think we've been very well accepted overall. We want to, of course, we want to do the right thing. We want to keep it, kind of nice and.
Also moving into that, you said that you've hired a few people that are, working with other making stuff that are very creative and you're very excited to have them. Have you guys branched out and maybe, do you guys hold any classes to talk about vlogging, like electroplay? Like, even when somebody comes off the street, this can be a little bit overwhelming if you're not, even as a queer person, I think that coming into something like this can be a little overwhelming. Is there education? Does your staff try to what do you do to try to ease that? You're like, hey, obviously you're overwhelmed, but you're here, so you're interested.
We currently don't have classes, but we will at some point. It's just a matter of us getting everything else in line to do that. So at some point we will be holding classes for all the different kinks and opportunities and things like that. If somebody does come in now, we just kind of chat with them and see what their interests are, and then we can direct them as to what they need to look at or other people they might need to talk to, and maybe make some connection for them in the community that's of a group or someone that is interested in what they're interested in. So
Yeah. I'd say my experience is going to adult stores, because that's one of my favorite things to do is going to adult stores and looking at product and stuff. It is. It's stuff that they have. So I'll stop at driving on the interstate and you see an adult store.
Yeah.
I'll stop and check it out. Yeah, because I'm like, oh, pull over, Chris. I want to see what they have. So I typically
Just go to the arcade.
Yeah, just go to the arcade, check out a movie. You don't actually talk to the staff, the people who work there. It's more of a don't talk to me, don't look at me. I'm just here looking at stuff.
Yeah.
But I really like how it is here, and I probably would say I would be here every other week is typically how I pop in. So I'm pretty frequent. So with that, everybody's really nice, and there's always opportunity to ask questions or to have a conversation. And I haven't experienced that at any other adult store that I've been to. And I know the years that I've been going to adult stores.
Didn't we go to Full Kid and Andersonville? I think those are the two that I really...
Yeah, because they were really...
I think a lot of it's you, Mr. S, and Boys Towns.
I haven't been there.
I usually know the boys that work there, so we just conversate more and whatever, but then we'll kick your.
Well, yeah,
I think
because they were trying out a whole bunch of stuff there. That
I think the only time that I was there was with you, maybe.
Yeah,
and the guys were cool. They were like, "You want to try stuff on?" Like, come here, like pulling us and like pulling like product while we were changing. Like, try this, do this, look at this, and we're just like, "Oh, cool, this is fun." Like,
I'll be sample some like VCR cleaner.
yeah.
Because you got a clean product and you want to know how that works.
VCR was so dirty.
It was so dirty.
Like,
It's hard to find parts anymore, you know. This is you gotta keep them machines in tip-top shape.
Yeah, if they sent us like a
Maintenance,
gift bag or
maintenance.
something, I felt like, I don't know.
Yeah, we had a few.
That was a really good experience.
Yeah.
Well, even me, like I've been in this community for a long time, and I feel like I've seen my fair share of things. But like sometimes coming into stuff like this, but I'm not fully aware because I feel like maybe I'm a little bit vanilla. But that doesn't mean that I'm not open to. Like you said, I wouldn't seek out vlogging, but I really enjoyed it, and I was like, well, I don't know, I've never done it, but if I did, maybe I would. But I've never really had people like around me that have educated me or showed this. But I feel kind of weird asking.
Yeah, but you're saying
Don't
like
feel
this-
weird. Yeah. No. As soon as we're done, we'll walk you around.
Whoa. Where do you, so also like I see like, you know, you have some Nasty Pig, you have some Andrew Christian, you have things like, how do you decide and where do you pull from? Like with designers and options, I love that you're doing local stuff like this, but like, how do you figure out like which?
You know, like your corsets, your pillows, you know, these other teddy bears that you guys have, these other things that you guys have.
Yeah, that's a hard one because
It's all me.
Yeah.
Really.
it is.
yeah.
I go by what I get asked for.
Okay.
You know, what customers ask for. Andrew Christian was already an established line for this business.
Mm-hmm.
We brought in Joe Schneider because Stan is actually a huge underwear fetishist. So,
He's a good man.
so we brought in Joe Schneider, which I didn't know that Joe Schneider. It kind of snowballs. You got Joe Schneider, then you got Mel Basics, and then there's another one, MOB, which is another version of Mel Basics, which is kind of like their stripper gear and stuff like that. So it kind of snowballs from there, and then of course you've got Nasty Pig and all their different products, and then Snow Block 13, which is also Tim Mateo, and
Those are all like clothing lines. Those are all
Yeah.
And the great thing about getting that underwear is that we also got swimsuits that we can get with those. So those are nice.
Pool
We've got
season's
some.
coming up.
It is.
We're on the edge of pool season.
Yeah.
We have a pool and we're anxious to
Oh,
get in it.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but I was going to say, where are the invites coming? No.
Yeah.
And it's not even my pool.
Soon.
So earlier, Ace had mentioned, you know, like workshops and things that you'll be providing here for customers. So you recently did a product demo here, didn't you? Like, was it last?
In conjunction with our wine social.
Yeah, your wine socials. How will those be like a repeat occurrence, like once a month? Or what's your thoughts there?
Oh yeah, we like doing that, and we're actually going to step that up probably a little bit.
We had some feedback from Friday night. Friday night was a wine social, so we had a little bit of feedback. So we'll be.
You know, that's one of the great things about having the wine socials and getting groups of people in here because they will tell us. You know, we have that relationship where they'll tell us, you know, what they really think, and that is really beneficial to us because you know if we're picking for the store, we don't pick stuff for us. We'd probably be out of business if we did that, you know. And
Or buy other products.
You'd buy all your products, yeah.
I mean, some people probably buy what we like, but you know, we need to hear those things so that we can do that. And that's one of the frustrations with this business is that we're all men, and we don't have a lot of women's stuff, and we're trying to figure out what we can get for that. Now we've come a long way in that department, but we've got a long way to go still, and we need feedback from the women in our community so that we can better serve them as well.
And we're doing our own research in those areas.
Yeah.
But at the same token, if somebody has a suggestion,
You know,
don't be shy.
we need to know what they like, what they don't like. You know, what product they like to see, what product they don't want to see. You know, we need that information.
Yeah, because you're not catering just to like the LGBTQ plus community.
We are everybody.
Everybody.
I mean, you said earlier you had a straight woman who was using was like pegging her boyfriend. So I mean, that's definitely not your what you would picture in
Well,
the queer community as your typical customer.
And we have the shock spot that we sell, which is a fuck machine.
And that's what you did. That's what your demo was.
It
right?
was,
Yeah.
and one of the straight women was like, "I want that," and so
I don't blame her. Yeah.
She had very specific criteria though too. She's like,
Yeah.
it has to do so many strokes a minute and this and that and the other.
I like her.
Yeah.
Go, girl.
She knew what she wanted.
Yes.
And she apparently has been doing her homework.
Yeah, it's like it's maybe demanding to be her. That's why there's a machine for it. So, how did you manage your wine social during a pandemic with certain restrictions in place still?
What does that look like for you? We still require the face masks, we try to be as socially distanced as possible, limiting the number of people in the store at one time, and
Trying to spread them out.
Yeah. So, we do what we can. Some of our people in our community are compromised, and we need to make sure that they're safe.
Yeah.
And so we try to make sure we do all of that.
Well, no, I was just thinking too, like wine social distance.
I know. I was just saying,
I feel
like, how did I miss that last
year's
part?
Scotch would be something that like would be fun here, but like I was also thinking like I can't remember his name. His name is Carnival Disco. They just started a local like whiskey bourbon distillery. Just trying to get me to like pick up some bottles for buddies. But I was like, that would be a good pairing. Everything local, everything fun.
Yeah.
And then also we had, I remember, what was it? Maybe a couple months ago we had Annie Thrax.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Does
Like
Annie
her
Thrax
custom
and makes
stuff.
her
Paddles and sex toys.
but also was making what we were talking about. What was that cross thing called? She makes furniture, but all of it is
But
like,
it's like hot.
it's like
pink.
a hot pink because she's
So
a
cool.
girl. And
Oh,
she's
we need
blonde,
to
she's
meet with
really,
her.
Yeah.
Can
she's
you
very,
hook us up with her?
100%.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
I
she has
like
like
that.
really fun products.
Yeah,
She
that's
started doing
awesome.
stuff like that because she was like everything is so male geared and male dominated, but like you can still be a cute girl and feminine and like
Yeah, well, see, and that's the trouble with the dildo harness is that it's male dominated. It's a male product, and I think that's what we're trying to change, and hopefully we
I
can.
think she's the one with these instruments, so she's like a really cool cage bench thing and like
She has a fun
forest.
bench.
Yeah.
It's all hot.
It's like all hot.
Yeah, it's so good.
I was like, I'll just after that. I feel safe.
Right? What, so as we're like wrapping up, like what are some things that you would want the community to know about your location, your space here?
Well, my first thought is that come in and check us out, but I want people to know that we have a thing called the M City Fund, which a portion of our sales go into, and you can apply for those funds if you're a not-for-profit. So different. It doesn't have to be actually not-for-profit, but different groups, communities. Anybody that's in a leather group, we're going to probably support that
Or
in
a
some way.
group.
Yeah.
Leather kink, whatever.
So we're not discriminatory about that. It's whoever apply, and we have a group of people that we've got set up to review that and let us know who they think should get some funds, and and then we're also talking about doing we're going to do a cigar
event.
Yeah, cigar event, and we're going to do another wine social, and probably do a wine social a month, and try to keep that COVID friendly, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a drawing for the group, for whatever group puts their name in, we'll draw one out, and whoever gets that will get a nice little gift from us.
And the wine social too is kind of like a happy hour, almost like after.
Yeah.
It's only 6 till 8, so it's not late. So if you're going out later in the evening, or when other monthly events resume, we're not competing with that. Other businesses, we don't have overlapping hours, so if somebody wants to buy something later in the evening, there's another place, and if it's earlier, it's here.
And is that so? That's held here during your business hours.
Yeah, the wine social, like it was Friday night from 6 until 8.
I love that.
I like that because so when I lived in Chicago too, there was like a little men's boutique called Cram on Broadway. It's still there. My friend Mark owned it, and what they would do is that they would invite some people for like happy hours. They would have a DJ. They would give free booze and stuff. But basically, I liked it because you weren't like stuck with just people that you didn't know. You were able to mingle, walk around, and also like we would try on clothes. We would like buy product, and like we would get to know other people that were like interested in like some of the stuff and places we shop. So we got to meet new friends, and it was fun. I liked it. And it also was like a short thing where it's like, oh, now we're done shopping. Now I have a whole outfit or something, and now I'm going to go out to like what I had plans for the evening. And also I made a new friend, so I'm going to take them with me. So
I like it. Removes a barrier of when you're going into an adult store, people think you're going into, like there's that nervousness or anxiety of like purchasing adult sex items or looking at that stuff. But you can come into a wine social with some friends and be like, hey, let's go check this out. Like, I wouldn't go alone, but we can go together.
Well, and also like
and
I love the huge like normalizing of everything and making sure like because I mean. I go online and that's where I buy like a lot of lube and stuff, and sometimes I'm like, number one, I like the fact that I can come somewhere where it's tangible and I can touch it, and also I can be like, you can ask
and you can carry it home, right?
Like,
Yes.
Like I would never buy this, like the hot cream online because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna have that.
I don't want it to be hot.
Yeah, but after talking, I'm like, oh, this okay. So,
well, and that's a big one. Yeah. They come in different sizes.
Yeah, I would buy like a little
sample. I have to dive into
We're going to try a little bit.
Just slather it all on
Too
there.
much. I'm just going to regret it.
Right? Can you do that? You can do
So
that.
my niece's birthday? I don't know.
It's fine. Don't eat it. We do have boy butter. Can you eat this? Yeah, this is edible. Right?
Like on toast?
I don't know.
I believe it is.
Yeah, you can totally, Just put it on some toast, it's fine.
Some cake.
That's right, put it on your
Muffin.
cake. Well,
And too, but when you come into the store too, you come into just basically a clothing store. It's clothing and stuff that you could just find, in any kind of a clothing store. And then as you
Make your way,
a little
yeah.
bit further,
Yeah,
more
identical
interesting
to like
stuff.
Forever 21.
Oh, sure.
different. Same.
What are your hours of operations? So you're open 7 days a week?
7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 7, Friday, Saturday, 11 to 8, and Sunday, 12 to 6.
And then,
And is all of your products still up, like website available online, or?
So the things that are available online, there's a lot more available online than there are in store because we can drop ship. It makes it easy.
And we have trouble getting it right now too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, we have trouble getting it to the store, so shopping online is easy. Yeah.
and you're on Facebook, Instagram.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
And I will say very soon we will have. We love Kevin because he created our first website.
Which it is very elementary.
So we have a professional group that out of Florida that's doing our new website, and soon we're hoping. We thought it was going to go live Friday, but there were some.
There's always some glitches.
Yeah, there was a glitch. So hopefully soon we'll be live with that, and
It's going to have a calendar. It's going to have FAQs and
Yeah.
all kinds of information. And
That's awesome.
the groups we have. There will be a section where different groups that are in our community organizations groups can post events that they have coming up, and so it'll be real nice for the community as well.
And we and this is a plug for myself. So we just agreed to start doing testing out in the community again, and you're one of our first locations.
Yay.
Testing it.
Yeah.
In our leather shop too.
In your leather shop, which is so much fun. So we'll be doing testing the second Sunday starting in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's from, I can't remember my hours, 1 to 5? 1 to 5 we'll be doing testing. So you can do HIV, Hep C, and within, I don't know if we'll be trained by April, but by May you'll be able to do HIV, syphilis, and a Hep C test. Yeah. Yeah, all from 1 drop of blood, so that's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Is it as go to lab for results?
No, you get results within
test.
20 minutes, rapid test. Yeah.
Wow,
All new technology.
that's great.
For first places to offer that testing here in the community.
Yay.
Yay.
So I'm sure there's multiple things going on this weekend in the community that
Oh my gosh, yeah.
people should check out. Missy B's, Woody's,
Queen Priscilla's.
Queen Priscilla's.
Yeah.
Oh, they had a really neat show Friday night in Queen Priscilla's.
And-
Yeah, I think Korea's been
Or was it
putting on
Saturday
some really
night?
good ones.
Well, it might have been Saturday night, yeah. Yes, Korea's amazing. Love her.
Same.
Same.
Hi, Korea.